everybody. I am so excited. So this was a long time coming, having Chloe on. So I am just super pumped because I have been following Chloe on social media for quite some time now, and I am always incredibly impressed by her client experience. So she shares a lot in her stories and on her posts about like some of the things that she does for her clients, and it just in conversations between her and I've gotten very inspired by some of the stuff that she does for her clients and her like closing baskets. I hope you have like pictures or something to show us of all of that, because it's like, I literally was like, can I just like copy and paste everything that you do? See, look at it. Like copy and paste everything that you do, because it is like sheer perfection. So Chloe, will you just give us a quick intro to who you are, what markets you're in, and a little bit of that? And again, welcome. We're so excited to have you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I was going to start off with like a story because you asked me to do client experience. And I think all of us have some sort of story about why we got into real estate. And so I got into real estate in the end of 2019. And I was really thinking about how I could basically drop off from my career and into something new. So real estate started off as my side hustle, and I really wanted to do real estate because of the poor experiences that I had personally had when buying and selling a house. And for example, like when I first bought my first home, I was 22 years old, and the guy, I remember at closing, he like gave me a value pack coupon book, like the one that they mail you. And there were several other things in the transaction that, were bad, but not to say that client experience is all about gifts and everything, but just everything went wrong. And so I knew when I wanted to do my business that I wanted to basically improve upon everything that they did wrong. And when I first started my business, I called it Rococo Real Estate and Design. And my tagline was a curated real estate experience. And I really wanted to have great branding as well as a great white glove experience. And I really wanted to focus on education, but also answering the questions before they even ask them. And so I started at the end of 2019, and I was a dual career agent until the beginning of 2021. And actually in my first year, when I actually really didn't have a lot of production, I was voted the top 5 residential real estate agents in Loudoun County. And Loudoun County is the richest county in America. So it was pretty interesting. And that was all from social media and just knowing people off of people online. I did work with a Facebook group called the Real Ladies of Loudoun County, and I was one of the admins for that group, and it was over 35,000 women that were a part of that group. And so all of these relationships I formed over social media allowed me to become a top producer in my first 2 years as a full-time agent. And it was basically 91% of my business comes from social media. So by showing and showcasing my client experience, my branding and everything like that, what I do for my clients, I was able to stand out.
Great. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've always been blown away. And I think that, what you've been able to accomplish in, only a couple of years is pretty incredible. And it goes to show like separating yourself from the masses, what it will do for you and for your career. So I'm just super excited. I've already said it all.
I've actually done a deal with Chloe, and she was incredible to my client. That it's basically, I actually just reached out to you on social media and said, I have a client he's a doctor and moving to the area. So, and she was blown away. And he also told me the experience was phenomenal. And yeah. And she also sent me like a little gift this Christmas, which was super sweet. Like, thank you for referring me. And like, I can't wait to do another deal. And definitely 100%. You're always the top of mind for that.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that too.
Well, get on with it, girl. Let's go. I'm excited.
Okay. So am I allowed to share my screen? Okay, let's go. Okay. Okay, so I don't have a second screen, so you're gonna have to speak up if you have questions.
I'll keep tabs on the chat. So if something comes up, I will let you know.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we already kind of did a brief intro, but I'm kind of in a brand transition right now. I told you that I was a Rococo real estate and design, but I'm now transitioning to the Chloe Powell. So I haven't released all of my new branding, but it's going to be, just keep in mind that it's going to be very similar about all of this. But I used to also be a behavioral neuroscientist. So I do take a lot of the methods I got from working with brands like Facebook, Google, Harvard, and I implemented them into my business. So a lot of the client experience is proved upon neuroscience methods. So keep that in mind during the presentation as well. It's not just stuff that I pull out of thin air. And since we've already gone over my intro, we'll just skip on to that. So, we are talking about client experience, but I wanted to talk about branding briefly, not in the traditional sense. Like, you don't have to think about your logo or anything like that, because that just goes off the rails. But I want you to do an exercise. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to stop, and I want you to think about a time when you had an amazing client experience. What feelings come to your mind? What things come to the senses? Was it a smell? Was it sight? Was it a feeling? Maybe you were on vacation. Maybe you were in a salon. So just keep that in mind, and that as we go through the presentation. So for me, what comes to mind is white glove service. If you've ever been to the Ritz-Carlton or Sandals or another all-inclusive resort, you know that they have an incredible onboarding process. They have an incredible, process when you go to the hotel, where your room is. They have great customer service. They anticipate your questions before you even ask them. They make you feel taken care of, relaxed. And I think if you've watched Ted Lasso, which if you haven't, I highly recommend it, but you can see with him that consistent cookie delivery in a tiny pink box can really break down boundaries with someone and help you create a stronger relationship with someone. So the common theme with all of these different businesses or personas or brands is that they are consistent in what they do. They're authentic to themselves or their own brand, and they have high quality or luxury branding. And each are unique to themselves. So you don't have to be the same as everyone else. And so I think it really has to be personal. It really has to be down to who you are and what you want to include. For example, like, I'm not someone who really goes to the gym or something, or hike or camp. So I wouldn't include anything like that. But I know there are a lot of people who are maybe more masculine who would include or gym things, and they would include different things than I would. So I think for us, in the last 2 years, we saw, in 2021 and 2022, that there are so many agents out there. I mean, there's really a dime a dozen. And how do you separate yourself from the competition? And for me, I really think it is marketing and branding, but it's only one component of the ultimate client experience. Because, when we go to our listing appointments, we sit in front of our client or our prospective client, and we see their home, and the home is ultimately a product. And if your client sees that you're delivering an amazing client experience to them, that's incredibly detail oriented, then they know that if you have that much attention to detail while you're going through the transaction, then you're just going to be amazing when it comes to negotiation, helping them through the transaction, home sale or home purchase. So over time, people will, hear about you from not only your past clients, but also on social media, and it'll attract more clients to you. So how do you go about your personal brand and what you want to include in your personal client experience? Well, I think what a lot of agents get wrong is that it's not about you. It's about them, right? Like some people go with like the bold colors and like they just, it's all about them. And really at the center of this, it isn't. We're about helping other people. So create your ideal client. My ideal client, her name is Charlotte. She drives a Tesla. She likes going to wineries on the weekend. She likes shopping at like Reese and Nordstrom. She probably has a Tiffany bracelet or a Louis Vuitton bag. And, she wants to live in a single family house and is trying to either design her own house to make it fit right or design and build her new home. And by giving them a name, you can really figure out what their pain points are, what they struggle with on a daily basis, and then you can solve all of those pain points through your client experience. And, yearly, I think it's important to audit all of those things and see if it stays true to your current clients. Because remember, this can really change over time. It doesn't have to be the same thing year in, year out. But I think, as we grow older or as we decide to go into a different kind of field of real estate, it can change over time. So this is like my personal brand. Like I said, I'm going through a brand transition, but I wanted to center on my luxury clients. Like Loudoun County is the richest county in America. So I wanted to speak to that. I wanted people to be attracted to that, clean lines, kind of like restoration hardware-esque. And like the gifts are like simple, elevated, they're just an extra touch. And for example, my first gifts were these candles. And I actually curated the scent with a local artisan here. And I would give it to my clients at the initial consultation, whether they were a seller or a buyer. And I would tell them to say, this is your new beginnings candle. When you're stressed, I want you to take it out. I want you to light it and I want you to breathe. And because it is going to be stressful. You can't just say it's not going to be stressful because it really is stressful. And they really loved that. And I think by giving someone something in the beginning and the consultation, they want to give something back to you. So usually that's in the form of a review or a gift or something, but they feel like they have to give back to you or at least listen to you through the whole process, which I feel like is a gift in itself. So, you really can't have a good client experiences if you don't have your shit together. So you really need to have systems and consistency. So I like implementing this and working a lot on the front end. And then once you have your systems, it's going to be a lot stressful for not only you, but also the client. And like I mentioned, your client experience, like the gifts are just a small cog in the wheel. It's not all about the gifts. So I think the first initial part, if you are trying to revamp your whole process, you need to put pen to paper, put it on a piece of paper, put it on a whiteboard, and really start with what you have and where you want to go. And you can talk with your transaction coordinator about this, or you can implement it yourself, or you can add other ways to automate it. But I'm going to talk about what I use for this. And so I like to have kind of like a backbone, and that backbone is probably email templates, a system, like on my Trello board, and then the follow-up routine as well. So I'm going to share, so I'm actually going to send, we're going to figure out how to send this presentation to you after this. And I'm actually giving you my checklist of all the items I do for sellers, buyers, new construction, and like the, what to do after your sphere, your sphere of influence after the transaction has happened. And I will say, I did get email templates from Katie Caldwell's Agent Systems 101. And bought them and then I've like integrated them, and they really have helped. So if that's one thing that you haven't done, I would, either create your email templates for every step of the process. And make it foolproof. So for me, I actually have a magazine at every step. So at my initial email, I send a seller or buyer guide or new construction guide. And then I have move-in checklists, move-out checklists, offboarding guides for, right before they close on the transaction. And then I send out like multiple things afterwards every month. So it's like a funnel. So during this part of the funnel, they are like in the transaction funnel. And then after they have closed, they go into a different funnel, which is just like your sphere of influence or referral funnel. If we want to think about it from like a marketing standpoint. But yeah, I really love the magazines, and they kind of answer all the questions before they even ask them. And so I'm all about making your life easier. I feel like we make our lives way too complicated sometimes. So really pick one thing and go with it. I have these folders that I can show you. I create 10 seller and buyer folders so that they're all in my console table behind me, and they're ready to go for appointments. And they have things for sellers and buyers so that I'm ready to go if someone calls me, like whether I'm in the car or, at home. And it takes them through the process when they have the consultation. They have my magazines in them, and they're just ready to go. And all of my gifts are ready to go. Or, I can order them at a moment's notice. Everything is just easy. I have taken the thought out of it. I'm never thinking about what type of gift to give ever again, because people ask it way too much. Like, what system do you use? What email system do you use? What CRM do you use? What gift do you use? Doesn't matter. Just pick one and use it. Like, it doesn't matter. These are the ones that I use. This is Virginia Dare Dress Company, and they can do custom gifts for you. They have a variety of different gifts. You can have like cookbooks, cookies, tea, and I've like tried pretty much everything, and they're all amazing. And you can do custom things if you want to do a consultation gift or a closing gift or a referral gift. And they include a handwritten note, vellum with your logo on it, and they have been incredible to work with. And I've referred them to other people. I don't get anything from them, but they actually ship around the country. So if you want like 50 boxes delivered to you, you can do that too. And so I'm gonna stop this, and I'm gonna go to my checklists. So this is what you're gonna get. So I have my seller checklists, where you can put, like, I just put it in an Excel sheet for you. I usually use Trello, but I put it in here just so you can, use it for yourself. And I mean, the seller one is pretty long. And then there's like the buyer one, not as long. And there are some things in between that I do that I think I forgot to put on here, but basically, if you just keep in mind that you just want to help people and you want to be kind, then you'll go a long way. And then I don't really do that much like in the day-to-day. I mean, I do a quarterly gift, a monthly newsletter. I do circle prospecting after all of my listings or my buying, my sales. I do a 6-week Home Depot gift card. I do this thing called the alphabet system, which you might know about, which is just sending texts and videos to people in their alphabet on my phone every so often. Custom CMAs and the Reminder Media Magazine. So that's throughout the year. And then throughout the, every month, there might be something different, but it's not difficult. And I do it all myself. I did have a transaction coordinator, but with the email templates and everything, I really just don't need one. The system is already done. I just have to copy and paste everything. And I'll have like probably like 5 transactions at a time. So it's not that difficult. So essentially, you know, you're going to be doing all this client experience, but the ultimate goal is to, you know, make people rave about you, create a raving fan, make sure that they, you know, that you and your clients are taking pictures along the way, posting it online, they're tagging you, they're sharing it with their friends, they're bragging about you, all of that. And I think, you know, if you really want to you don't have to add everything that I do, but if you just add one or two things, you're gonna go far. So here, I'm just gonna,
Chloe, can I ask a quick question?
yeah.
Somebody asked, what was the name of the company that you do the boxes from?
Yeah, so here, everything's linked. So I'm going to send you guys the presentation so you guys can just like look at them. But it's Virginia Dare Dress Company. And so they give me these gifts. I order about 5 to 10 at a time. And so this is the closing gift. And then you can work with someone local too. There's tons of people who will do this for you. These people are local to me, but I also get them to do my consultation boxes, which they just have my branding on here. It has like 2 coffee, they're like tea bags, but coffee. It has like 2 biscuits and a chocolate bar. And then this one you saw above, it has a candle, chocolate bar, some matches, and I think there's something else in there too, but I can't remember what's in there. But it's something simple. It doesn't have to be like super expensive or anything. I just tell them, look, I want to spend like $50 a box on the closing gifts and like $10 or $15 on these boxes. I don't know how much they cost, but you know, I give them a number and they can do it for me. In the beginning, I had this lady create these candles for me. But she stopped doing business, so I can't order them from anymore. But whatever you want to do, just, I would say order a bunch of them, put them in a closet, and then take them. Because for me, that's so easy. You can just take them. Like, these are all my folders that I have. And I had like the EXP on the end, but they had this. I have all my folders ready to go. They have all the stuff in the inside of them. They have like my qualification lead sheet, like my reviews, the testimonials, the steps to purchasing a home, commandments of loans, like third-party referrals for like cleaning and home inspections and everything. I mean, they're pretty much ready to go when they have left the consultation appointment. And I mean, maybe I haven't had enough appointments, but every single person I've ever had a consultation with and I've given the gift has always worked with me. Which means I need to go on more appointments, but still.
It's super smart though. I love that idea. I mean, I think it's like you're offering something. So now they almost feel indebted. So subconsciously they're indebted to you now that they have to work with you. So it's perfect.
Yeah. I would say like the Katie Caldwell's agent systems with the email templates and everything did change my life. So whether or not you create your own email templates or you use someone else's, at least like just do that, because it'll just save your life. Because as long as you have, you know, you tell everyone, like you go to the consultation, you follow up with the email, you have the checklist, they follow the checklist. Like every person that follows the checklist as a seller does everything. Like they literally do everything in the checklist, and they makes our lives easier, right? Because you don't want to show up at a house and I don't know, there's like shit everywhere. Mm-hmm. I think ever since I implemented that, it has changed my life. And you can also say, look, I've given this to you. This is a partnership. Now you have to do the work. Like it's a partnership. You have to do the work. I'm doing the work. You get this amazing experience, but only if you do the work. And
I have a question for you, Chloe. So for your checklist, like all your emails and all that stuff that go out, are you putting those, because obviously you're sending them out, are they being sent out through your CRM, or are you sending them out yourself, and how are you remembering to do that?
So I send them out myself, and I actually did work with a transaction coordinator. And I thought, everyone was like, get a transaction coordinator. And then that didn't work because my emails and everything that I've already done is better than the transaction coordinator, which yes, it just, once you have the system, you really don't need it. Like, you don't need to be spending like $500 every transaction to do it when you could just do it. Basically, I have a folder of all the templates because there's more templates than I have Google. But it integrates with my CRM. So whenever I send an email, it just automatically gets put in their card in the CRM. So I don't have to like update it and like tell my CRM, like, just sent this email. It just automatically uploads and connects to it.
Awesome. What, do you have to go back into your thing, into your screen share?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I will say, like, I also made these boxes for the CMAs and I bring them to all of my listing appointments. So instead of the folders now for the seller, like the seller folders, I bring the box, which is, they love the box. And that stands out from other people. And like, no one has a box.
Somebody just asked, what CRM do you use?
Okay, so I did have KV Core. It was a little complicated. Now I use Dubsado, which is not a real estate platform, but I like it because you can, it's just a simple CRM. Really, you don't need to have a complicated CRM. You could just send an Excel spreadsheet. If you wanted an Excel spreadsheet, like bare to basics, like that could be a CRM. But the Dubsado is just easier for me because I can have all my templates and stuff in there. And I just like the way it looks. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter what CRM it is. This is the complication of everything, because everyone, like, they say, what CRM do you want? Where do I get my boxes? Here, I got it, Dubsado. The boxes are from Uprinting. They're not that expensive. I bought like 150, I think, for like, I don't know, $200. And then I had these bags made that were nice. They're like, those are also from Uprinting.
Is that where you got the tissue paper from as well?
Yeah. At first, for my first brand photo shoot, I actually printed my own tissue paper. I don't recommend doing that. Nothing has to be expensive. Like, although it may look expensive, it doesn't have to be expensive. And once you have all this stuff, it takes all the work out of it. You don't have to do anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about follow-up. I think in every talk, it's all about consistency. So whatever you want to do, whether it's one gift or multiple gifts, like I would say my gift strategy during the transaction is initial consultation gift, accepted offer or under contract gift, closing gift, 6-week Home Depot gift card after they move into their house. And then they are put into my Reminder Media magazine. And then they are put into like quarterly gifts. So depending on what, it's just like an automated gift. I pick them all out for at the beginning of the year.
What do you do for quarterly gifts? Like what does that look like?
So for, I think March, I'm doing it's like a gift card to a home organization, local place here. And then it's like movie night in a box. So it's like popcorn, and they have like an Amazon gift card to like for a Prime Video. And then I can't remember what the fall one is. Oh, the fall one I think is like a pie or something, but we also do an event in the fall. And then, yeah, I think for the last quarter, it's like the pie or the wreath. Yeah.
And then are you doing those through a company, or those are just like you come up with your ideas the beginning of the year, so then you have everything kind of mapped out?
Yeah, so I like to work with all local. So I work with local companies, and then I have someone who drops them off.
Amazing. Somebody just asked, do you do quarterly gifts for clients indefinitely?
Yeah, because then they're just part of, I don't know, they've been a client, so they're forever a client. I got to make them stay happy. And I would say so in the last few years, I haven't really done events. So depending on what like your marketing budget is, like you could have an event or a client gift. But it doesn't have to be, I'm not really like a huge extrovert. So I like sending them like event in a box, like a movie night or something. Because some people don't like be like seeing you, you know. uh,
Hey, Chloe, what would you say is the average annual spend per client?
I would say I'm just reviewing my numbers right now. 50, I don't know, maybe like $200.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in the scheme of things, that's, peanuts to your commission. So,
Oh, yeah.
why not reinvest in those clients to hopefully either get, because look at like you showed some of your reviews. These people are going back and telling their friends and their family about you, or if somebody comes up and says, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house, the first thing they're going to say is you need to talk to Chloe.
Exactly.
I
And
love it.
it's just so different than other people. Like I know my other people's businesses, and now I'm working alongside like the number one agent here, and we went on a listing appointment the other day, and she was like blown away, and she's like the number one agent in Virginia. So for her to be blown away at something, and I'm only like a new agent, I've like been in here for like 3 or 4 years now, but these things go a long way, not only to like your clients, but also other agents. Because I worked with Kelly on something, and then she got a gift at the end of the year. And it just, I think, speaks volumes. They know that you're not only taking care of their clients, but you're taking care of, it's not just the gifts, it's more about the experience and the education and everything.
I love it. So we'll get your PowerPoint and all that stuff, and we'll put it into Modern Agent Blueprint, because I know somebody else just asked about that. We'll put it in the Modern Agent Blueprint Facebook group. These videos are always recorded. They're always going to live on the Facebook page. And then we also have a YouTube channel for those things. So we could even probably put a link on the YouTube channel too, to go to this. I don't know how that works, but I'm sure there's a way. What other questions do people have? Because I know, Chloe's stuff is amazing. I just, like I said, I want to just copy and paste everything that you do, and I might.
You're fine with that. I'm okay with that.
I'm curious, Chloe, what your accepted offer gift is.
So usually, here, I'll show you. Let me present again. So I usually do crumble or the spoonful of comfort. And then if they're like, I don't know, gluten-free or on a diet or something, I'll send flowers. But later, these are all our apps, so you can just send them right away. And the crumble is nice because it's local delivery, but the spoonful of comfort has been nice for people who, I've had sellers who, they're going through a sickness or something. Oh, I didn't share my screen, did I? So it's this right here. So the spoonful of comfort, you can send like macaroni and cheese or soup, like a whole meal. If someone's like had a baby, or, life is just so stressful, or someone has passed away. And then the crumble is usually my accepted offer gift.
So spoonful of comfort is that a local company, or is that?
No, it's,
Okay.
You can just go online. And also the Cheryl's cookies are really good if you don't have a crumble.
I've used both of those companies, and they're wonderful. I've sent gifts through both of those companies. Yeah.
Or how quickly do they get there pretty quickly? Because that's my concern. I had a listing appointment, and I sent, sorry, my screen just went away. I sent like a thank you card and like 2 little brownies through send out cards or something. And it took a week and a half to get there. And I was like, okay, well, that I kind of lost my edge there. Like I'm trying to like have this sent like within the next day or so. So for it to get there in a week and a half, I'm like, well, there goes that. Like they've already made their decision. I mean, they did go with me, but still.
So this actually happened to me. And this was like at the very beginning of when I first started as an agent. And I used to send out Punk Post, which they do like handwritten letters and they can send out gift cards. So I sent like a $25 gift card and the handwritten note to my clients. And they like had, by the time it got out to them, they had pulled out of the transaction. They were terrible people. We were no longer working together.
Oh no. See, that's like my
Yeah.
biggest fear. Cause I was considering doing like the accepted offer thing, but then I was like, I feel like so many deals fall apart. And like, especially in like where we were before, like putting in offers like a million times and doing all that, like it was so fragile. Like all these transactions are so fragile,
Mhm.
but I suppose like, I mean, I'm guessing you only do one accepted offer gift
Yeah.
if something happens in the transaction.
I'm not doing it every time. I
Maybe
don't
do
know
like
for
through,
fun.
through inspection gift or something, so you can at least know
Yeah.
you're gonna
Right.
make it to the table.
Appraisal
know.
happened.
Yeah,
I mean,
house appraised gift. So then you're
I-
almost there.
most of them in the last year were like non-contingent, which we don't have an inspection period here if you aren't
Oh,
contingent.
yeah.
So they would get the gift. But if there are inspections, I do wait until that is done. Because then they're like, oh, okay, we actually like this home. We want
I do moving kits from Amazon. So I send boxes. So I'll send like a pack of medium boxes, like 25 boxes. I'll do tape and bubble wrap. The only bummer is that they all come separately. So I made a little graphic and send it to them. Like it's really like I have one that says shit just got real for those people who I can send that to. And then I have other ones like, oh my gosh, it's happening. And so I'll say like, you're going to be expecting a moving packet, a moving gift. So, be on the lookout for boxes, tape, and bubble wrap because they don't always come. Like sometimes they just show up with no information and they're like, where did these come from? So I want them to know it's from me. I mean, obviously they would assume, but you never know. Audrey, you have a question?
Yes. So I was just curious, Chloe, you said you've only been in the business 3 or 4 years. How long did it take you before you decided this was what you wanted to do? And how did you know you were financially able to do it?
I I just did it. I'm like one of those people where I just make it happen. Like I know that like if like this is non-negotiable for me. Like my clients, now that I've started this, it will always happen like this. You just, it's it's a write-off.
It's
I
true,
figured.
it's a write-off.
That's true. No, I was just curious because I
Yeah.
know how you said it's about around 200 per client a year. So how many clients do you think you do on an average year?
So for me, it's probably about 15 to 20 per year. And that is like 7.5 to 10 million. So it's fine for me. But like if you have to do like 80 clients a year or something, and your like sales volume is lower, then it's all going to be personalized or customized to you. If you don't want to use a local vendor, like you can create the boxes yourself. Sometimes like along the way, like for me in the beginning, it looked like bringing a brown paper bag with a stamp on or a sticker on the brown paper bag, and it was like snacks when we went to do showings. It was bringing coffee to showings with future homeowner on it, which I still do. It was just simple, like it was like a one of those little bags that you can put, and it could have like some cookies in it and maybe some like candy or something. And it doesn't, like at the consultation gift, it doesn't have to be a big gift like this. It could literally be something in a nicely, one of those like nice little bags with just some candy in it. I mean, my coach when I first started was like, just put some Hershey kisses in a bag and call it a day, you know, because it's still the same thing. It doesn't matter how much money the gift it like contains. It also speaks to your ideal client. So if your ideal client is only looking at like, I don't know, bread and butter houses, then you don't have to have like a Tiffany's closing gift. And I don't think, no matter how big the house is, I don't think anyone needs to get that luxurious, because people don't expect that from you. I mean, you're their agent. This is a professional thing that we do for them, and we have a professional fee attached to it. But sometimes when things get stressful, these little things or these little details can really help.
Totally. I'm going to go to the.
I got a question, Nicole, really quick.
Sure.
So Chloe, you said 15 about a year. So it's not like a crazy ton amount to like manage, but you've got checklists, you've got your different things. So I am an ideas person. I love to like run through 50 billion different ideas, get them out there, but then move to the next thing. And so I struggle sometimes with the checklists and trying to keep myself organized. How do you know when to send everything and when to do things? Like, are your CRMs and your checklists and everything all kind of synced in together so that you get automatic notifications and different things like that?
So I'll add, so when, say we get a contract, I'll add everything to my calendar. I'm a very calendar driven person. So all of the inspection dates or contingency dates, they're added to my calendar. And then I have a Trello board. So each person goes through the board and it already has like all of the email templates in each person. So all I have to do is like copy and paste from each person. And that's how I know what stage of the transaction they're in. But I also have a whiteboard in my office that has a running list of what stage each person is in, and that's changed quarterly. And I mean, I would say this last year was maybe a little bit easier just because there were a lack of contingencies, but it's still the same. Like, I mean, if you have a transaction coordinator or assistant, you can just have them, you can have them send the emails and just CC you on them. But I think there are some things that I think maybe need to be a little bit more customized before you send them out. Like for my move out checklist, I always, on our contract, it looks a little different, but I screenshot like all the conveyances, like make sure like everything that they said was going to stay there is going to stay there. And that's customized for each person.
Gotcha. So it sounds like you're just super diligent, especially with like, I have 50 million things on my calendar and I've just like learned to ignore 98% of them because I feel like it's just constant.
Yeah.
So you just have to be super diligent then to be able to pay attention to it.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I'm going to implement this year is not doing like showings or anything before 11, unless it's like extremely necessary. Because I struggle with that too, is like not having personal boundaries when it comes to like money making activities. And I think, it's hard, like we have to work on our business. We have to do all the transactional stuff. And then we have to also maintain our personal lives. So it's either we're like distraught and we're like really doing well in business, or we're like relaxed and we have no business.
It's definitely an ebb and a flow, that's for sure. I wanted to go to the chat really quick. So Victoria said she uses Snack Cards. It's an app. You can use it to create a card and send a gift right away. And Diana had a question. Do you provide gifts for your vendors and agents on the other side of the transactions once you closed?
No. I give them business. I don't have to give them more gifts. I mean, I'll write them notes. Like if it was an exceptional transaction, I've sent notes to other agents. Some of the agents I worked with this year had COVID and I had to like help them. And I did, like, there was one person that I sent a gift to, because kind of shit hit the fan with my clients. So I sent her a gift. But I think it's all about creating relationships and maintaining relationships, because you just want them to know that it didn't fall on you, and you want to like repair that relationship.
Right. I did that too. I had a crazy transaction. So I brought champagne for the other agent at the end of the closing because I was like, we deserve this. It was rough. So Tony said it's 8:40 here on the West Coast, and what a great way to start the day, and Happy New Year. Thank you. Or New Year. Kelly said she brings a bottle of wine with my logo. I do like that. We did that. I forgot we did that. So Kelly and I are part of the same group, and we bought, I'm trying to find them. So she bought them on, I have them right here, Kel. So she bought them on Etsy, and I just recreated them on Canva. So they say pairs well with a new house. And
I
it's got congrats on the new place, and it has the logo. So Kelly paid for hers. I made them, but here these there's also these you could put on wine labels. So from listed to sold. So it's such a cute idea because you could just get like a decent bottle of wine for $10 or less and throw that on there and put it in your closing basket or give it to them at some point. It's just a super cute idea. I don't use them very often. Kelly, do you use those very often?
Hold on. Yes, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Never mind. Mute
Sorry.
her.
No, hold on. Sorry. Yes, I do. I actually put them on all my closing gifts, but I bring a bottle of wine too if it was a good transaction with the agent on the other end. I bring them a bottle of wine if I kind of know typically you get to kind of know what they might like talking to them through a transaction, unless they're, there's a lot of assholes out there, which gives us all a bad name. But I typically have good transactions, so I bring them up, just nothing crazy, just a nice bottle of wine with my logo on it and say, great job. Like, especially because I do a lot of local, I'm in Brighton, like I do a small town, and like, I'm going to see these people again. My brother-in-law's the mayor, my husband's like, so like, I'm going to see these people again and they're going to know me, and I want to make it a smooth transaction. Or maybe they pick my offer because they're like, you know what, Kelly's good to work with. I'm going to kind of get your offer accepted more, so that goes a long way too, especially if you're dealing with a smaller area where you're doing a lot of business. So
I would like to just add to what Kelly had said, that my name is Diana. I'm here in Washington State, and we have a small mastermind group here. And one of our biggest focuses for 2023 is agent retention, not just client retention, because when we unify and we team up with each other, it benefits our clients at the end of the day, like when the interest rates drop and when we have more competitive buyers. And if my name's on a transaction that is just as equal to the highest in hand, they're most likely that agent, if I've worked with them before and I've sent them a thank you card and I've sent them a thank you gift for a smooth transaction, and they know that they can count on me because I'm respectable and I communicate, they're most likely going to take my offer.
yes.
And so creating that retention with your own team, your teammates, no matter if they're on your team or they're, working with another brokerage, I think is just as valuable as the retention with your clients.
100%. And that's happened to me already. It's come back where I'm like going up against another offer, and I've done a deal with this other agent, and they're like, you know what, your offer was very similar to the other offer, but I'll be honest, like I'm trying to get my clients to, I know how the rest of the transaction will go with you. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Just wanted to share a tip too with the group, something that I do. Sorry, this is Tanya. I'm in the kind of the Chicago market. Something that I'm really big with is every one of my closing gifts is personalized. I don't do the same thing for everybody. I feel like you spend a couple months with these people going through, their wants and needs. And I really try to pay attention to the things that they say when they're walking through the house, or they might say, oh, that would be great for, I had one customer, she's like, this wall is perfect for a projector. So I bought them a projector, like things like that. You just showing that you pay attention and that you actually care and you're there for more than just the transaction. That's what builds those relationships and hopefully gets you those referrals later on also.
Totally. Yeah, I
That's
do the same
fantastic.
thing. I mean, all of my closing baskets, I do myself. Like between Hobby Lobby and Home Goods or TJ Maxx or wherever. I mean, but that's the thing, like when you start scaling your business bigger and bigger, it's harder to do those things. Like I did, I think 34 transactions last year, and trying to do baskets for everybody is very time consuming. But I do like,
Totally agree.
if you get their dog a toy, they love that. Or their cat a toy. I'm telling you what, like I have, if you go to like TJ Maxx or Home Goods, they have little mini, actually, I'll show you. They're like little dog toys that look like champagne bottles or like tequila or vodka bottles. And I swear to you, they freaking love it. I buy, every time I see them, I buy like all of them. So like if they have pink ones, so if I know it's a girl dog, I'll give them a girl one. Like they just love it. And I've done, so I'll do that. Or like a lot of times for, if there's little kids involved, I'll get them like a little squishmallow, just for their new room, something cute for their new room. I know, Julie's done stuff like that, like gotten the kids stuff. But I think like I think you can do a mix of like some of the stuff Chloe's doing, which is very like posh feeling, but then also have something like playful and fun. Like even at the end, like, don't forget, I didn't forget about your dog or little Fido, and have like a little bag for the dog. I mean, it'd be super cute. And they're going to love that and remember that.
That's
too.
the things they remember. And
Right.
that's the goal here, is getting them to remember you and getting them to walk away having a good taste in their mouth and a good experience, because that's what they're going to leave with. So
Mhm.
My favorite is the New Beginnings candle. I love that idea because I don't often enough say that to people. Like this is not going, there are going to be bumps in the road, and I just love that for them to understand that, you're preparing them, and it's not, there might be some obstacles, but just like light the candle and breathe. Like, I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So here's one of the little dog toys. It was $5.99 at Home Goods. So, and then there's another one, Rose All Day. They have some super cute ones. So like those, like I just have these on hand so I can give that to them. I think it's just thinking ahead, prepping. Another thing, and this is a Katie Caldwell thing too. We actually had her on. I don't know if you knew that, Chloe. We had her on a while ago. She's amazing, but she recommends these stampers. I'll show you guys.
Oh, I have them too.
Yeah, these
New address.
they are stampers. So like basically it's a blank inside, and then you get a card inside the thing. You get them on Amazon. They're $20 on Amazon. And they can go on and customize whatever stamp they want. So it's a little address stamper. They're $20. I buy them like 10 at a time. And this is like perfect for those people who you're like, I don't really know what to get them, or maybe it's like a smaller transaction or something, and you don't want to like go and spend like a whole bunch of money on the stuff, but like these little stampers are fantastic, and they're on Amazon. So they're great.
I mean, I work with a lot of investors too, and we'll do a lot of transactions, but they don't want stuff. But I'll still tell them, like, do you want a holiday pie? Do you want this? And he's like, I don't need gifts. Like, I don't need gifts, but the holiday pie though, he loved it.
I'll bet they want cookies too.
Yeah.
I'm sure they want a Home Depot gift card.
Yeah.
That's actually what I'm doing. So I sold a house yesterday, and the house is like a disaster. And I'm like, he's a first time home buyer. I'm like, I'm not even going to get him a gift. I'm going to send him $100 gift card to Amazon or to Home Depot, because he's going to need it. So, you figured that, and I should have planned ahead. I did not plan ahead, but I need to get him a gift card. So I'm going to do that later today and send that out to him. But it's stuff like that. Like, no, like it is, knowing your client, knowing some of the stuff that they like or want. Like I had a couple who was, they loved plants and cats. It's all they talked about, was wanting a room for their plants and a window for their cat to sit in. So like I bought them cat treats, and I bought them a little plant, and they actually bought me a plant, which I still have, which I thought it was so cute. Just knowing, like getting to know your people and knowing what they like, I think is really important. But also knowing, your clientele and who you're trying to attract, and those people. I think it's a smart but like fine balance to figure out what's going to work best for you and your business. But you don't have to spend a fortune. That's the biggest thing. Like even when you were saying, like you could create one of those boxes. You can go, I think sometimes the dollar store even has those little square boxes, and you can get the crumple paper and go and get a candle from Home Goods, put it in there, put like a couple little things in there, and now you have a curated box for like less than $10. So you don't have to overthink it too much. I am curious, so what do you spend on those boxes, Chloe?
So the big ones, they're
Yeah.
$50, I think. The small ones, I want to say they're 15.
Okay.
But I kept doing these personal things, and I will add like personal things sometimes. But I just can't think about it. I see all these people thinking about all these things all the time, posting on Facebook groups. Like, don't think about it. Just have a standardized plan. Because if you think back to those other things, like the Ritz-Carlton, Tiffany's, Cartier, sandals, they all do the same thing all the time.
Mhm.
Like, what do they tell us? Like, you have to do the same things every year. Why do you think everyone has a shred event every year? Why does everyone have a holiday pie? Why do they do the wreaths? Why do they have a fall event for apple picking? It's because it works, and it takes all of the thought out of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that it might not be as personal, but it's scalable. If you do it that way.
100%. You're right.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's the
taking
trick.
action is
That's
the biggest
exactly the
part.
trick.
Yeah, it's the taking action and keeping consistent. That's what I struggle with too, but that's the key.
Yeah. I
Well,
think we all
thank you
struggle with
so
it.
much. Thank you so much, Chloe. Like, this has been
Thank you.
amazing. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank
We
you,
really
Chloe.
appreciate it.
If you guys ever need to do business with her, I can definitely say firsthand, she's amazing to my clients. If you need to refer somebody to her in Virginia and in that area, like, she's incredible. So
Yeah. What area do you work in, Chloe? Again, I know you said the name of it.
So I work in Northern Virginia, Loudoun County specifically.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. Isaiah or Lee, do you have anything more?
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Chloe. We forgot to do our announcements at the beginning because Nicole was so excited to introduce you. So we have a couple things, but incredible. We definitely want to have you on again. And so get with Nicole and get on our calendar. We'd like to have you on regularly because you did an amazing job today. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's okay with me.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I mean, I learned so much, and I mean, I think it's so important to, have your plan and stick to it, and don't just send one gift and say, oh, it's not working. You got to keep doing it again and again. And then you'll have clients for life. So that's really the summary. It's probably the best $200 per client per year per client that you'll ever spend.
Mhm.
Yeah, one note on that, when it comes to marketing, one of the rules of marketing that a lot of people break is any marketing activity you do or you choose to do, you need to think about it as if you're going to do it forever. And what I mean by that is oftentimes we get in the business, we're like, oh, I'll try this, I'll try that. And you want to do A/B testing, but the things that she's training on are things that should be non-negotiable. And at what level you do it at, that's the question, right? That we all have to ask ourselves and what makes sense for our own businesses. But it's like, oh, should I do a weekly video? Well, eventually that needs to be a non-negotiable for you, right? It's something that you do every week. Just like what she's talking about. She has her process set up with her transaction process and her checklist, and you heard her conviction. She goes, no, this is a non-negotiable. And that's how certain activities have to be with our marketing. They can't be like, oh, if I feel like it, I'll do this or I'll do this. We have to build systems in place so they become non-negotiables. And that's how you build what I call power brand, is because you just have it built in and it becomes consistent and you fine tune it and make it better. So what I do is before I start anything, and I've learned this the hard way, I ask myself, am I willing to commit to doing this for the rest of my life? Not literally the rest of my life, but you know what I mean, right? For the rest of my career or my business. And that's how you got to do it, because when it comes to marketing, there's no like press this button and then all of a sudden it's going to just work amazing. It's a process, but it's so beautiful. to see the results of what can happen, like she's sharing, when you develop a system and you stay super consistent with that system and make it better. So thank you for just leading by example with that.
I'm gonna put in the chat to Katie Caldwell. Sue just messaged me, so I want to make sure that we have it in there. So Katie Caldwell is she's one of the hosts of Hustle Humbly, and she has the agent systems, and she has the email templates. So if you can go to her website, I think it's just katiecaldwell.com, and you can buy those systems. Highly recommend, for sure.
It's worth it. I think it's like $200.
They're basic email templates, but once you start, like, if you're a experienced agent, you know how to critique those. And every single time, I am constantly evolving my email templates. And they were a great baseline to start with. So 100%, if you don't have something like that, you should. And I'm so excited for your checklist, Chloe. So I'm going to email you, or I'll send you a message on Instagram to get my email, so you can send me over that. You guys, if you want to follow Chloe on Instagram, what's your handle, Chloe?
So it's the Chloe Powell.
The new brand.
And it's thechloepowell.com.
I love it. Isaiah, is there anything else?
Yeah, I wanted Isaiah to talk about, he's got part 2 of his video mastermind today. If you want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. So basically for what we're doing this year that's a little bit different for our coaching company, and also anyone that's a part of the Renegade/Lux group, is we're taking a topic and we're going deep on that topic. The conviction is that we want to immerse ourselves into specific topics and work together as a team within that core topic. And so what we do is we focus on 7. If you guys haven't heard of them, maybe you want to write these down. But what we do is we focus on 7 core, what I call profit accelerators in our business. And we're going to basically hit on one of these profit accelerators every month, so we can go really, really, really deep. Like this is a great example. Who got excited about this topic today, right? It's really not enough just talk about it for 1 week. Would you agree? Like, if we really want to get implementation, we should go deep on this topic. So what we're doing we're kind of this month is a little bit of a beta, but it's going to become an official rollout next month, where we're going to have a specific profit activator and we're going to go deep for a whole month. So what we're doing right now is we're going deep on video marketing and how to use video marketing to generate more leads, draw business from your database, and create an awesome client experience. And for those of you that are in agent attraction, that is also part of it. And so to launch that, what I'm doing is hosting a free online event. It's a 2-day event. It started yesterday. Today's the second part of that event, and we're going to be talking about using video for specifically for lead follow-up and prospecting. Today is the two topics, and so I highly recommend you come to that. I'll drop the link in there in the event. You can register for the event if you're not already registered. But I actually have a gentleman by the name of Nick Nihas and his wife who run a company called Business Video School, and they're one of our coaches on my coaching program, and they're just absolutely awesome people to learn about video from. So we're going to be tag teaming that training today. So if I can find the chat here. Where is it?
Audrey
I
put
just
it in.
dropped the link.
Okay, thank you, Audrey. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, check that out, and then make sure you come back to these and invite other people to come back to these Modern Agent Blueprint masterminds, because it's going to be themed out. So if you like the topic and you're like, oh wow, this topic is awesome, we're going to make sure that we go deep on that topic for 3-4 weeks in a row. It might take us till February-ish to kind of get on that wavelength before we start doing that, but just to kind of make an announcement. That's the plan. Out of curiosity, who likes that idea of having an awesome topic, a great speaker, and then us going deeper on that topic each week? Who likes that idea? So that way we're not just scratching the surface, but we're like getting things implemented. So
I love that because like we've talked about this before, like, you know, you go to these events or you go to masterminds and you're like, oh my gosh, like I love this. And then you write down all these notes and then you're like, well, that's kind of overwhelming. Like or you like analyze it, you think, like Christy was talking about earlier, like you have all these ideas, but like what actually is going to work? How are you going to implement that into your business? So we've kind of come to a conclusion between Lee, Isaiah, myself, and Julie about how we can really go deep on a lot of these things, because I think a lot of these topics are fantastic and they just could go and go and go. So for us to be able to have like a weekly mastermind, like 1 month's going to be, you know, client experience, and then like break it down on how we can do that and have these like in-depth masterminds where we're just going to continue to, you know, bring more and more value. So if you have friends who are realtors and want to join this group, invite them. It's a great way if you are trying to do agent attraction and you want to invite agents who you are trying to get to, you know, join your business. This is a great way that you can bring them in here and have them join and say, hey, listen, like we're coming to this every week. It's a great way to talk with people. So I'm super excited for what's to come for our group. And then next week, so like Isaiah said, we're still working on getting everything ironed out for that, but next week I believe we have John Darden, right?
Yep.
Lee?
And he's going to talk about how to attract your dream customer.
He's also a real estate coach. I've been following him for quite some time on Instagram. I think he's got a lot of great content, good motivational stuff. So I think he's going to be really, really great next week. So I'm excited to have him on too.
And then, so yeah, February is going to be all about video. March is going to be all about social media. April is going to be all about lead conversion. May is going to be all about client experience. So we have a really good lineup. And each week we're going to have a mastermind. We'll have 4 masterminds on lead conversion, 4 on social media, 4 on video, and we're going to hit all aspects of all of those topics. So, and that's going to tie in with a lot of Isaiah's growth CEO coaching as well. And some of the stuff that he does with some of his challenges. So everything will all tie in together.
So get Chloe back in May. for
Yep.
client
Yeah,
experience.
we probably will.
Absolutely.
I think she had to hop off, but
Okay,
yeah, we will, we're definitely gonna have some, I mean, we have some great ideas already. I mean, like, and that's what I love about these masterminds is we can have a topic and then open the mics up and people come on and talk about the other things that they're doing that, you know, maybe we didn't think about before, or maybe we thought about and forgot about. So I think these are a great way to collaborate with each other. And that's what this is all about, is collaboration. What else you got, Lee? Anything?
Well, I wanted to talk just a few minutes about the Renegade Group and what that entails. And this is, I mean, if you're interested in learning about potentially partnering with us with your real estate business and joining our EXP group, stick around. I mean, it's no obligation at all, but if you want to learn a little bit about the Renegade Group and what we do and what's included. So I'll just give everyone just 30 seconds if you want to stick around. We'd love to explain everything to you.
Are you pulling something up, Lee?
Yeah. So let me share my screen. So what, just bear with me. I'm just pulling my screen up. So basically, why partner with us? One of the things that we offer is we offer a daily accountability call. I mean, it helps you be more productive, stay on track with your goals. Camaraderie, working towards your goals together is more fun than doing it alone. So every morning at 8:45, I head up a accountability call. And, number 2, collaborate and partner with the top real estate agent teams in the country. We have 4 different teams, in Utah, in Missouri, 1 in Michigan, our team locally in Michigan, over 1,000 transactions between these 4 different groups. So you'll be able to work with some of the best teams in the country. Your business will benefit from the collective knowledge and experience from these teams. We'll help your business soar to new heights with, some of the most successful minds in the country. modern agent blueprint. So we have a whole roadmap for the, through the end of the year. That's going to be really set, and it's going to tie in with what we're doing for our Renegade group. So the Tuesday Modern Agent Blueprints are going to tie into the themes that we're going to continue and dive even deeper with our Renegade EXP group. So, transform your business, surround yourself with community entrepreneurs. Isaiah Colton's, obviously you just met, he's on the call today. He's amazing. He'll help you feel more confident in your skills. You'll achieve the success you've always wanted. You'll learn new techniques and get tips and training from the top real estate coaches in the country. And these are some of the other benefits. So if you're interested in setting up a meeting to learn more, I'm going to join the Renegade movement. Let me copy this. I'm going to stop share. I'm going to put this in the chat here. And just set up a one-on-one meeting to learn more. And we would love to just let you know what we're all about. Do you have anything to add, Isaiah?
Yeah, so just a couple things. Like I think that we can see the power of collaboration if just in this one event. And so I want you to kind of imagine in your mind about what it would be like to be a part of a group of people that are working towards becoming the best version of themselves they can be without compromising their integrity, and just separating themselves completely from everybody else in the industry, and just doing amazing things, but doing it in such a way that it's not just like going to another training or going to an event, but we're doing it in such a way where we're all moving in the same direction. We're all growing our own businesses, but we're moving in the same direction, and we're collaborating, improving. And if you thought this was impressive, imagine what it would be like to be part of a group of people that go super deep and that hold each other accountable. And so you're not sitting on an island wondering if your broker is going to help you grow your business, or whatever situation you might have felt yourself, you might be in right now or in the past. But just having an awesome, like high-powered group of people that are not only making a lot of money, but they really care about their clients, and they really want to see change happen in our industry. And so I think that's what the difference is with the Renegade group versus maybe other groups or maybe other brokerages that you might have been a part of, is that the combined experience is 50, 60 years of experience, but with people that have done real estate on a very, very high level, and people that and some people that have made millions of dollars in real estate in one way or another, at a very high level, and have systems in place and are moving in direction. So who the Renegade group is not for, it's not for the person that's not really, like, I would say, like, if we welcome everybody, but for the part-timer that's just kind of like, oh, real estate's fun, like, that's probably, we're pretty like intentional about what we do. And we're very, very passionate about what we do, and we like to work hard and play hard and have a lot of fun in the process. So if those things kind of resonate with you, then definitely just set up an appointment and find out more. It's a completely private consultation. And everything that's talked about, it stays private, and there's zero obligation to do it, but taking you underneath the hood, I think you'll be very impressed. And so with that, Lee, I'll turn it back to you.
Yep. Well, I think that's it. But once again, like Isaiah said, it's a private consultation. We'd love to have you learn more about what we're all about. And, we really lead with production. We're not just a bunch of recruiters. It's really all about production. And we want more than anything to have everyone be a successful agent and really grow in their business. And that's first and foremost, by far the most important thing.
Definitely.
Awesome.
All
I
right,
gotta head out, guys,
everyone.
but it's good seeing everybody.
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you.
See you next
See you
week.
next week.